Thailand Pass is to be scrapped by June the 1st. The mother truckers are back, and cancel culture in Thailand. That's all coming up on today's Good Morning Thailand. Could you please take a moment to click the like and subscribe button? It helps us way more than you know. Hello and welcome to Good Morning Thailand, brought to you by Coffee Culture and Deva Beach Resort. Now introducing our special guest today, Tim Newton.
Yay.
Hardly special.
And of course, the ever so lovely Natty Warisa.
Hi, I'm not wearing hair extensions.
All
I saw
right.
some comments saying
am
that. Right.
Neither am I, definitely. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Good Morning Thailand. Today's topic will involve, is the Thailand Pass going to be dropped on June the 1st? Now, the sports ministers come out and the health ministers come out and said some things that will get you excited, as well as a famous YouTuber in Thailand is possibly being cancelled for hunting and getting crabs that are not endangered and bringing them home, which is a strange story, but very interesting. We're going to be talking about cancel culture. And lastly, the mother truckers are back, and they've got demands. All of these stories.
The truckers are revolting.
Yes, they are. As for right now, let's look at Thailand's top headlines with Natty. We'll be back right after this.
Thank you, Jay. More than 1,000 new factories, mostly in the food industry, have been established over the past 6 months with investment totaling 56.3 billion baht. According to the Department of Industrial Works, the considerable investment is a good sign for Thailand's economic recovery. Although 361 businesses closed in Q3 and Q4 last year, the number of closure is down to 8.4% compared to the same time last year. The new factories would employ some 31,330 workers, according to the department. For the first time in 18 years, Thailand's postal rates are going up. The country's Digital Economy and Society Ministry said that according to data from 2011 to 2020, Thailand Post has lost up to 18.4 billion baht and says it's likely to keep rising. On Tuesday, the cabinet approved a proposal by the ministry to raise rates. In its 2020 report, Thailand Post said the agency has to operate over 5,000 post offices so that people can have adequate postal services, although some offices brought in low revenue. But it's not only postal services. Thailand is seeing a wave of price surges. The diesel price is set to spike starting May 1st, now that a subsidy on diesel has been depleted. After an outbreak of African swine flu in Thailand, the price of pork has also surged in January, with prices of other meats now following suit, along with costs of fresh fruit and produce across the board. The Department of National Parks, Wildlife and Plant Conservation has prosecuted dog owners who brought dogs and bathed with them at a waterfall inside the Khao Luang National Park in the southern province of Nakhon Si Thammarat. The authorities said pets were banned from entering the national parks in Thailand to prevent the spread of diseases from the urban areas. One social media account posted pictures of a man and a woman enjoying a waterfall along with their 2 dogs on a Facebook group. The authority clarified with Thai media that pets were banned from entering the national parks because of the risk of spreading some diseases to indigenous animals. Now something for Jay and all of you believers out there. Justin Bieber will be back in Thailand to perform live on November 6th, with tickets going on sale tomorrow, costing 2,500 to 16,500 baht apiece. He's scheduled to perform at the Rajamankala National Stadium in Ramkhamhaeng, Bangkok. Bieber will be kicking off the Southeast Asia leg of his Justice World Tour on October, starting with a performance in Malaysia on the 22nd, followed by Singapore on the 25th, and 2 gigs in Indonesia on November 2nd and the 3rd. The Land of Smiles will be his last stop in Southeast Asia before taking his tour to the land of the rising sun, Japan. It's been nearly a decade since the Canadian pop star last performed in Thailand in September 2013. The only international act to ever sell out 2 nights at the huge Rajamankala Stadium was South Korean BTS back in May 2019. Back to you, Jay.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Good Morning Thailand. Let's just get straight into our first topic, which is
You must be so happy
Sorry?
that Justin's coming back.
Biebs.
Yes.
You rush. Have you booked your tickets yet?
No, not yet.
But you
It opens
will.
tomorrow.
Probably.
Right, yeah.
But we will be talking about that a little later. As for now, let's get into our first topic, which is regarding Thailand Pass is going to be dropped on June the 1st.
Question
Maybe.
mark.
Maybe, yes, of course. Now, let me finish. The Tourism and Sports Minister has said that the cancellation of the Thailand Pass registration is expected to take place on June the 1st, with tourists using the TM6 immigration form for vaccine declaration. And what's happened is that the Health Minister has also come out in support and said, look, COVID-19 situation in the kingdom is improving. The total number of infections, hospitalizations, as well as any deaths has all decreased. So, and he also will propose that the Thailand Pass will be completely cancelled, and people will, for the incoming travelers, only take an ATK test. So, I've got a couple of questions regarding these topics. Firstly, Natty, I'm going to throw this to you. Ending of the Thailand Pass, June the 1st. Is that music to your ears? Is that music to everyone's ears?
Well, it's definitely music to my ears because when I travel abroad and come back, I don't have to fill in a form that sometimes when I go to the website, it kind of doesn't compute very well and stuff like that.
You don't need to stick up your nose.
Yeah, and also I don't have to do the sticky stuff.
I think
Yeah.
that's not a problem to most people. Tim,
Oh, big
music to
problem for
people's
me.
big music to people's ears.
Well, look, I've got I think it's great. As soon as we get rid of the Thailand Pass, as I mentioned in an editorial you'll probably see later in the day, the better, because it's just become a toxic 2 words. It's such a turn-off, and it's such a bad part of the brand of Thailand at the moment. The problem I have, though, is that the alternative is, okay, we're going to put your vaccine information on the TM6 form. So guess what's going to happen? You're going to come in and you're going to go to the immigration queue, you're going to do your thumbs, and he's going to check all your details on your passport, and then he's going to be the gatekeeper on whether your vaccine certification is appropriate. So that's going to mean longer queues at immigration. And should immigration officers be responsible for the vaccine checking? Maybe that needs to be done by the airlines when you check in, which I think they're sort of already doing.
Yep.
But then again, should they be doing vaccine checks? Because all these certificates from all different parts of the world are all different ways of registering the information. Some have got vaccine passports. So I think getting rid of the Thailand Pass is a great idea. But if the alternative is longer immigration queues, I'm not really sure they're solving much.
Okay. And where are the 100,000 cases? Now, everyone, virologists and doctors came out and said, there's going to be a big COVID-19 spike after Songkran. It's now April the 28th, and yet still no spike. And that's what the health minister's saying. All these numbers are decreasing, so it's looking more and more likely that the Thailand Pass will completely disappear. So, first question to you, Tim, is that what happened to all the 100,000 cases?
Well, obviously, the doctors that were saying that there's going to be 100,000 cases a day have been proved to be wrong. Mind you, you probably got to wait a week or two after the period. But we're now in that situation where 10 days after Songkran finished, we would be probably seeing a spike. That's not happening. However, the Public Health Minister is not correct in saying that the number of deaths is dropping. That has stabilised. It's not going up anymore, but it's still over 100 a day, which is clearly still not okay. But he's wrong in saying that the numbers are dropping.
Is Thailand doing 100,000 cases? As in, are they testing for 100,000 people every day?
No.
That's the only way to find out if there are 100,000 cases or not.
Well, it's not only that. It's the people that are presenting to hospitals and the people who are self-administering and saying, look, I've got COVID, and they're contacting the hotlines. So there's many ways that they're gathering these numbers. And again, you sort of got to look at the trends of going up or down. You may say, well, they're not doing all the testing that they used to, but the testing that is being done and the way that they're checking people in the hospitals, clinics, and the people that are registering their ATK tests, that trend is coming down. So, I mean, I think it hit 28,000 on April the 1st. So here we are getting to the end of April, and we're down and stabilising around about that 14,000 number. So there's been a huge drop. But still to be wary about the fact that a number of deaths is still over 100. But look, anyway, whatever. We're talking about Omicron, and it is less dangerous. Sadly, not for those 100 people, or more than 100 people. But Thailand does need to now start to really open up and get rid of this paperwork.
All right. Now, I saw some unfortunate news, something that I didn't really agree with. Let's briefly talk about tourism tax. Now, the plan to collect a 300 baht tourism fee from international travelers will be submitted to the cabinet within the next 2 weeks to implement in roughly 3 months. We've been talking about this since last year, that they were going to add this 300 baht tourism tax. Is it too early to implement this tourism tax? Why not? We just got rid of the restrictions. It's good news that the Thailand Pass is going to go away. Why do the tourism tax now? Natty, do you think it annoys me? Does it annoy you? Do you think it's too soon?
It is too soon, but also, is it necessary even? 300 baht for what? I feel like they're scrambling for money somewhere. I'm like, oh, where can we get more money? Oh, okay, you guys are going to help us, with this.
We've got to collect the money to save the economy, you know.
For these the fuel or something.
Yeah, these TAT predictions, 10 million people are going to come.
It's not going to happen.
Each of them paying 300 baht each. That's a lot of
so
money.
Silly.
It's a lot of money, Natalie.
It's not a lot of money, but it's kind of like annoying piece of loose change. Why are you asking for that 300 baht? For what will it help?
I guess it will be implemented in your tickets or, somewhere that's not. I don't think it's going to be a cash payment, but just the fact knowing that it's there slightly annoys me already.
Yeah, nobody wants to get.
They've been saying, for years, for decades, we've had either arrival or departure taxes, some of them up to 500 baht, and they've been hidden in the airline tickets. So I don't think it's a situation where we should be terribly surprised. We've had these for years, and they're saying that they're going to spend it on tourism infrastructure. Great. As long as it's not private people picking up the cash somewhere along the line, and it's being done officially, and it's audited, then I don't think there's a problem with it. But is it the right time to actually do the implementation?
Definitely.
No, the timing is really bad.
And they never come out and say what improvements they're going to make. They don't list it. They don't say okay, we're going to improve your experience at the airport. You don't have to wait in long queues. You'll have this and that. But
add another 50 immigration queues. That would be a good thing to spend it on. Putting in some better toilets in some of the outlying tourism attractions. Adding, heaven forbid, rubbish bins. Thailand could have another 1 million rubbish bins, trash cans, whatever you want to call them, and it wouldn't even touch the sides. We need more rubbish bins.
All right.
That's a good one.
Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. Once we come back, we're going to be talking about hermit crabs. Quick, Tim, what's this?
That's 5 fingers gathered together. By the way, you need to do your nails.
What's this? It's a dead one of these.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
Find the coffee roast you love most. Coffee Culture delivers Thai coffee online. Whole beans or pre-ground delivered to your doorstep in Thailand. Go to coffeeculture.asia and get coffee you love delivered to your doorstep.
And welcome back. We'd like to take a moment to thank Coffee Culture for being a sponsor of the show. You can buy sample bags before you indulge in bigger coffee bags at coffeeculture.asia. Well timed. As well as Michael Doe and Krishna. Thank you for being Thaiger members and supporting the channel.
Yay.
We appreciate your love and support.
Thank you so much.
Marishka, have a good day. Our second topic for today is regarding hermit crabs, ladies and gentlemen. Can I give you a conclusion of how furious the story has made me?
I never thought we'd get around to be talking about crabs on the program, but here we are.
Here we are. It must be addressed. This is Thailand. Natural Resources and Environment Minister Kun Vorawut Silparasha.
Good.
The S is not to be held. He has vowed to launch an investigation against a popular YouTuber who published a video clip of himself catching a number of hermit crabs and taking them home to keep. Now, I'm just going to give you a brief conclusion of what's really happened. A popular YouTuber, what he usually does is go out and film nature videos. He often interacts with fish, crabs, turtles, wildlife animals. No, not really endangered animals, but and his crowd is of the younger generation. He basically went and caught some hermit crabs for a video. He brought them home, and in very crab-mane situations, took care of them, and this enraged National Resources and Environment Minister, and also some people online who said, look, these animals deserve to be in the natural habitat. Don't bring them home. Don't do that. That's fair. And he actually came out and apologized as well. But what really got me slightly annoyed was that the minister actually came out and asked the people to basically cancel him. He said that he urged his sponsors and fans to basically boycott his videos, and that we need to teach him a lesson. He's got 700,000 subscribers, and here's the example he made. He said, this YouTuber has 700,000 subscribers. Imagine if each one of them collected a hermit crab and took it home from a trip to the sea.
Yeah.
Up to 700,000 crabs might end up dying or being taken away from their natural habitat. As if every one of his subscribers a little child, and the next thing they're going to do when they go to the sea is take a hermit crab.
Okay, let's be clear about this. Now, we've gone to this gentleman's page, and if you want a bit of a comparison, if you're a Westerner, think of a young Thai Steve Irwin. The worst you could accuse him of is perhaps being a bit of an animal fiddler. He does have a love of animals, that's quite clear. But the worst you could say is that he maybe, sort of plays with the animals a bit, and maybe that annoys the animals. We had the picture of the turtle this morning sort of squirming there. It didn't look particularly happy. But he was very caring, and he put it back. And each of his videos, and he does a couple a week, and they're really well produced, they get between 2 and 4 million views each.
Yeah.
So the Environment Minister may be rightfully, I'm not sure, jealous of this kid's popularity, but he is actually bringing a really good message. And this Environment Minister, by the way, doesn't appear to be going to zoos where there are entrapped dolphins and alligators and elephants and monkeys doing party tricks for tourists. That seems to be okay to this Environment Minister. But this young Thai guy, who really is actually sending some very positive messages and teaching some valuable lessons to young Thai people and to his many followers. By the way, I think he's got a lot more than 700,000 followers on his page.
4.4 million.
So he can't even read, this Environment Minister. So I think the Environment Minister really needs to turn his attention away from a couple of hermit crabs who are being cared for, albeit in this guy's house, and he's got a tank for them, and he's feeding them and caring for them and teaching people about hermit crabs. Head down to your local zoo or your animal park and have a look at the way the animals are treated there, and maybe turn your attention to that.
Natty, how's this made you feel? Although hermit frogs,
hermit fries.
Oh, yummy.
No.
Frogs.
Although hermit crabs aren't listed as a protected species under the 2019 Act on Wildlife Conservation and Protection, if Mr. Korn is found to have collected the crabs from a national park, and only from a national park, he will face legal action, which doesn't actually seem to be the case. However, they're doing the investigation right now as to which location he actually took the crabs from. But initial thoughts, firstly, what do you think about him? Because I know you have a deep love for turtles. Not that crabs are like turtles, but you like those sorts of animals. Yeah.
Perhaps a slightly odd attraction to turtles.
Initial thoughts, Natty. What do you feel about this whole situation?
I find it strange that they want to incriminate somebody who hasn't done anything wrong yet. Like
Legally,
they haven't
that's
found.
right.
It's like, oh, you can't. If you don't wear a shirt in Thailand, that's illegal. But you're wearing a shirt. You're not wearing a shirt in Singapore. But we're gonna arrest you because if you were in Thailand, you would have been arrested. I'm like, what? But I'm not in Thailand, though. You know what I mean? Like, how could you do that? It doesn't make sense to me. Is my analogy
Your
okay?
example didn't make sense to me.
No, but do you know, actually, it is the law in Thailand. You cannot walk outside without a shirt.
Yeah, say that to the millions of Australians coming to holiday on
wear
Phuket.
a shirt.
And or anybody with a body. I'm just jealous. If I
Australians
had
have great bodies.
If I had
generally.
muscles and a six-pack, I'd be shirtless 90% of the time.
But I do want to say something though about the fans, the people who poured in to say nasty comments about him, and it had nothing to do with the hermit situation at all. They
Yeah.
were just like, "Oh, you're ugly" or whatever. It had nothing at all to do with the hermit crabs, and I just felt like, why is it that people feel the need to do that, all the
Yes.
cancel culture? They want to see successful people fail, and that's what I don't understand about people. Like,
Welcome to our comment section.
Okay.
it's just sad. Like, why are people's mindsets like that? Just, I don't
Yeah.
know, say it for what it is, but don't go overboard saying.
Can I
Yeah.
go on a mini rant?
Go.
Well, we've had our rants. Off to you. Over
All
to
right.
you.
You're right. As soon as you said the word cancel culture, because that's exactly what the minister was trying to urge on his Facebook. He was urging the people to cancel him, basically. In this specific example, we've already established that he hasn't done anything illegally yet, right? But even if he had done something illegal, make him do 100 hours of community service. Go make him use his audience of 4 million subscribers to go make PSAs and videos to help hermit crabs and post it on his YouTube and make him apologize and do something like that.
He hasn't done anything wrong.
If
Exactly.
he had done something wrong, that is a better way to handle things than absolutely canceling someone.
Yeah.
That's like saying, you as a person, you've worked your whole life to establish an audience, to make a living, to become a personality, and you are no longer allowed to make any money from that, and you are now cancelled. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Just because you made a mistake, that's
One
not
time.
even illegal.
Yeah.
That's just some people find it morally wrong because they have a love for crabs. I
This
get
young
that.
guy, what's his name?
Corn.
Corn.
K-O-R-N,
K-O-R-N.
Gone.
He's doing more
Gone.
for the environment in Thailand than this environment minister's done in his entire career.
True.
Also, forgetting the reptiles and the wild animals and the hermit crabs. I mean, just look at the domestic animals, the cats and dogs, and the soy dogs and the soy cats that are out there.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could turn your attention to their welfare. If you're so worried about the welfare of animals, you've really misplaced your time, Environment Minister. We need to get him on the program.
We should.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Imagine if you make a mistake, everything you've done up till now could be irrelevant, and because you're cancelled.
Yeah.
How disgusting is that?
Everybody
If you've made a
makes
mistake,
mistakes, man.
You should be
Yeah.
allowed to be given an opportunity
Yes.
to.
So
True.
we're going to put Corn's
Fix your mistakes.
the link to his page in our description, and we'd like you to go and have a look and make your own decision.
Yeah, sure.
I think he's a great little YouTuber. Well, actually, a huge YouTuber, and he's sort of doing it the same way that Steve Irwin did, with a sort of a touchy-feely love of animals, sort of a little
without
bit
the Australian accent.
without the ridiculous Australian
The
accent.
Australian accent was gold. That's what
Yes.
sold the show.
Steve Irwin was unique.
Crikey.
Crikey,
Look
mate.
at this crocodile, mate. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologise for all the Steve Irwin fans. I'm a Steve Irwin fan. All right, let's take a quick break. After we come back, we're going to be talking about more important news that's regarding mother truckers and the J-Beebs. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back. It's now time to talk about the mother truckers. Ladies and gentlemen, now that Thailand has announced the upcoming end of its diesel price cap, the truckers are back. And they're back doing what they do, which includes rallies. Now, the
Protests.
yes, protests and rallies. They've rallied in front of the government house to insist the government keep the 30 baht per litre cap, and they've once again called for the energy minister to be removed. So same, a bit
But
delayed.
same. Yeah. there you
same.
They've got it in for the energy minister, haven't they?
Yeah, and their main demand basically includes reducing the excise tax on fuel to 0.20 baht per litre, equal to the aviation fuel. So are trucks and planes the same?
Well, that is such a small percentage of the. When we're talking about this tax, we're talking about the difference between diesel costing 30 baht and 40 baht. So any discussion by these truckers about the minute 0.2% tax is irrelevant to the topic, really. These truckers have just got it in for the minister. They seem to say, you're going to have to cave in to our demands. The problem is the minister, he's run out of cash. He's run out of money for the subsidy. So they've been able to suppress the diesel price, and that's relating to a lot of travel costs of travel goods and stuff around the country. But it looks like the party's over. These truckers, I've got a funny feeling we might be heading to a situation that happened in Canada, 3 months ago, when the truckers were doing all those protests.
Yeah.
They could really disrupt things if they want. I mean, there's nothing worse than a cavalcade, what's it called, a convoy of trucks all lined up that's really going to slow things down. And that's the sort of militancy these truckers seem to be displaying.
Well, what do you do? These same truckers, a couple of months ago, rallied. They shut down that street where they parked all the trucks on the same street, and they got most of their demands met.
Well, I'm not really sure. I think the government always had the intention to try and have a diesel fuel cap. But at that stage, 3 or 4 months ago, the inflation hadn't really hit Thailand.
Yep.
We didn't have the Ukraine situation at that time. So I think we're now in a different environment, and the government's going to be in a difficult position, because if the actual retail price should be 40 baht a litre at the moment, and the government's been soaking up some 10 baht of each litre at the petrol pump, then that's pretty much unsustainable. So they're going to be damned if they do and damned if they don't. But I don't think the truckers protesting is really helping. This is a situation that's pretty much out of the control of the Thai government, unless they want to dig more into the people's taxes and throw more at the diesel relief.
All right. Natty, do you like to use a lot of envelopes?
Envelopes? Not in this age anymore, no.
Tim?
I don't think I have posted a letter for 20 years.
Right.
Well, now is the best time to do it, because unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, the postal prices are going up. There's going to be riots on the street.
Well, I couldn't care less, because, as I said, I haven't been near a post office for 20. No, I have been near the post office because we go down once a week and we post out the merchandise, or the Thaiger shirts and the caps and the mugs and stuff.
Well, not necessarily in an envelope, but yeah, I get your
Well,
point.
no, they are in envelopes.
They're in boxes.
Well,
Well, yeah, I guess.
Shirts don't go in boxes; they go in an envelope. They're flat.
Yeah. Yes.
You put Thaiger shirts in envelopes?
We put Thaiger shirts in big
Oh,
I think you're
envelopes.
thinking
Yes.
of this.
Yes.
You're thinking of this, but that's Tim's envelope.
Yes.
Oh, the big
The
brown
big
envelope.
brown, yeah, the big ones.
You know
But
all
in
about big
Kerry,
brown
they
envelopes.
They send it in that plastic material.
Well, that's the other point.
That's
I
not
think
really an envelope.
it's an envelope. What else is it?
A packaging.
It's
packaging.
an envelope. Anyway, this is the other problem that Thailand Post has got now. There are people like Kerry Express, and there are other delivery companies now who are doing a better job, and they're doing it cheaper, and they're more
Flashier.
efficient. And I think Thailand Post, like a lot of these sort of legacy government postal companies, are really going to be struggling.
That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the cost of envelopes is going to increase, so watch out. And yeah.
Wait, hold
watch
on.
out
You
if
mean
use
the
Thailand
envelopes
Post.
specifically are going to go up, not the cost of sending out an envelope?
No,
Yes.
you
cost
have to
of
buy
an-
the envelope first.
Oh, that's so strange. Okay.
Yeah. And a couple more things. But
So take your own
basically,
envelope.
Yeah.
I
I'll
wanted-
make my own.
Yeah, I only brought up this topic so I could segue into my next topic.
Okay.
Which is
Which is, the cost of envelopes is going to increase, so watch out, but nothing will stop the beebs.
Okay. Nice segue.
That's right.
nothing will stop the bees.
Nothing will stop the beebs. No amount of money. 16,500 baht for a Justin Bieber concert ticket. Take my money.
So hang on, whoa, I'm trying to figure out the postal beebs.
Nothing.
Just go with it,
Envelope
just go with it.
prices
Okay,
are
I'll
going
go
to
with it.
spike. That's it. But
Oh,
yes,
okay.
the main news is Justin Bieber is bringing the Justice World Tour to Bangkok in November. He's scheduled to perform at the Ratchamangala National Stadium in
How old?
Okay.
Ramkhamphang, Bangkok,
No.
November 6th.
I've been to Ratchamangala Stadium.
Yes.
Apologise for my pronunciation. And every time I go to the airport, on the airport link, I see this huge, holds 55,000 people.
Yeah.
It's a very, very big stadium. Well, I actually come from Melbourne, where the MCG holds 100,000 people.
Yeah.
But anyway, in Thailand, that's a pretty big stadium. and I've been to a concert there and very well organised. So good luck to all the Justin Bieber fans. You a Justin Bieber fan?
I like him, but I wouldn't actually pay 16,000 baht.
That's the
for
most
that.
expensive ticket. I think the cheapest ticket is 2,000 baht.
Right.
It's
Are
quite
you going to
affordable.
go? Are you
No,
going?
probably
You'd be
not.
outside watching on a screen for 2,000 baht, I think.
I don't know.
So isn't he he's 46 years old now? I mean,
No,
Oh
He's
no,
probably like
he's like
26,
30. No,
27?
he's your age.
He's
You're
than me.
younger than you.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
I don't
about
know.
26, 27, I guess.
oh, hang on, here we
Jay
go.
Biebs.
Hey Siri, how old is Justin Bieber?
How many of the viewers, ladies and gentlemen, are believers? Let us know. Will you travel to Thailand just for the Biebs?
I don't think
Here's
Siri.
what I found.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Justin Bieber is a Canadian performer, we know that. He was born in 1994, so
Oh,
he's
okay,
what?
so a lot younger.
27.
28.
Oh,
27, 28?
28.
Nice.
Justin Bieber's 28.
Yes.
Carmel knows.
Thank you,
Carmel
Carmel.
knows.
She's a
Carmel's
Biebs
a believer.
Well, Carmel's moved a little bit closer to us today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every day she likes us a bit more.
She's actually in the building now, which is great.
Yeah.
So he is 28. I don't know. I'm not going to go. I got a free ticket to see him when he was a thing in Melbourne. I got invited, and they said, "Hey, do you want to go to a Justin Bieber concert?" I got a free ticket, and I went, "Okay," and I was okay.
It's okay.
Not a huge fan,
All right.
but good luck to him.
His new EDM stuff is good. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, to keep you
What
up,
does EDM stand for, Jay? For
Elec-
our listeners out there that are looking, going, huh?
electronic dance music.
There we go.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep you updated with Asia. It's now time for Asia News Today with Natty.
Elsewhere in the world, as the region continues to open back to general travel, Malaysia will remove COVID testing for all inbound travelers who are fully vaccinated or under the age of 12 from the start of May. Malaysia will also make it optional to wear masks outdoors and do check-ins before entering premises. From May 1st, masks must continue to be worn indoors, including on public transport. The further easing of measures in Malaysia follows a sharp decline in hospitalization rates and drops in demand for intensive care beds. Non-vaccinated travelers will still be required to take a test before they travel to Malaysia. Shanghai authorities are hinting at an easing of the draconian lockdown measures as COVID infections drop to the lowest in 3 weeks. While case numbers in Beijing stabilize, a potential sign authorities are starting to bring the outbreaks under control. Cases in Shanghai fell for the fourth day in a row to 13,562, though the city added another 48 COVID-related deaths. Beijing reported 34 cases on Tuesday as the city started testing millions of residents as it tries to quash the spread of the Omicron variant. The lockdowns in Shanghai and Beijing to cope with a seemingly small amount compared to cities around the world of similar size has been an unprecedented challenge for China's COVID-0 policy. Russia is warning Japan of retaliatory measures if Japan continues to expand joint naval exercises with the U.S. near Russia's eastern borders. The threat is just the latest from Moscow, which continues to be angered by Japan's support for Ukraine and its growing ties with NATO. So they're turning up the heat in a long-running dispute over the sovereignty of islands captured by Soviet forces at the end of World War II in the northern sections of the Sea of Japan. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister says that U.S.-Japan naval exercises were quote-unquote potentially offensive. The U.S. and Japanese navies last week wrapped up joint exercises in the East China Sea and Philippine Sea, headlined by the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group. That's all from me. Back to you, Jay.
Transferring money overseas? Sick and tired of the insane charges? Well, there's a new product to solve that problem. Try D-Money on your next international money transfer with the best rates and no added costs. Go to dmoney.com.
And welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand with Tim, Natty, and Jay, and it's now time to answer some of our member questions. Now, yesterday a member asked us how much it actually costs to become a member. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have two tiers, Tiger Cub and Tiger Legend. Membership starts at 200 baht or $6 approximately.
Per month.
per month. That's right. And member benefits include such as priority for questions, shout-outs, Discord server community where you can meet people who are like-minded and love Thailand just like you, early access to videos, unfiltered priority. We're going to be bringing back Thaiger Unfiltered again tomorrow, behind-the-scenes videos, studio tours, and meet and greets.
And we've got our weekend Good Morning Thailands where we address members' questions as well.
That's right. Completely optional to be a member. That's if you want to support the channel. So that was the answer to your question. All right, Carmel, the voice of God, has arrived.
Yes, before we address any comments or questions, we should welcome a new Tiger Cub. His YouTube username is Jan Travel Thailand.
Jan Travel Thailand.
Oh, I think
Yes.
I watched his stuff before. Hi, Jan. Not that you know me, but I
Is
think it's
Jan-
fun.
Jan.
But yeah,
Is
he's
Jan
now
a
a
he or a
Tiger
she?
Cub.
I think it's a he, right?
He.
Am I
He.
correct? Yeah, I do
Okay.
know him. I do watch you, by the way.
Welcome to the Tiger family.
Yes.
Yes, as well as, we have around 526 viewers watching live right now. Thank you for always supporting the channel as well, viewers. Please click the like button if you're enjoying the show so far. Take it away, Carmel.
Okay, a question that's unrelated to the topics that you discussed today. Mackie asked, Jay, do you have any follow-up thoughts on the blind test tasting with Natty? We enjoyed it. Thanks for giving everyone your phone pin. Lol.
Oh, I see the blind taste test. Yeah, Natty made me completely blind, and we went to go do a Thai cheese taste test. And unfortunately, I couldn't use my phone, so I had to give my PIN to Natty. I regret that now, as well as everyone else around whoever's watching. So if you do get a hold of my phone, you'll know my PIN. But it was great. It was really nice to taste Thai cheese for the first time in my life, really. I've never actually tasted Thai cheese.
Where did it come from?
Various parts of Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah, but they were locally sourced, locally made here in Thailand.
Yeah.
It's at Vivin. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
I'll
know
try
Thailand
that.
made gorgonzola cheese.
Yeah.
Thai local gorgonzola cheese.
Not really into gorgonzola, but I don't mind blue cheese. I don't mind all cheeses, but gorgonzola isn't my favourite.
Isn't gorgonzola and blue
It
cheese
is. I
the
thought
same?
gorgonzola is blue,
Blue
cheese.
cheese.
The same cheese.
Yeah, gorgonzola. Oh no!
Oh, gosh.
Quick, swiftly move on to the next question.
Question
Check
for
that.
Tim from Dale. Tim, since you'll soon be traveling, can you apply for your Thai Pass tomorrow morning after the site reopens and let us know how it goes?
Yeah, I haven't booked anything yet, so I'm still prevaricating because of the Thailand Pass. It does sort of annoy me, and it's not something that I would choose to go through. I've never been a great supporter of it. I've always said that the only way I think the Thailand Pass could work is if it could be just a place to put your flight details, your passport information, like a pre-registration for that TM6, and you have a separate queue that lets you get into Thailand much quicker. That would be the only way I ever saw it being continued. But we used to get hundreds of emails every week from people complaining they were having problems with the Thailand Pass, something that I address in an editorial coming up later.
Okay, next question still about travel. Nick Tessely asked if the cancellation of Thailand Pass registration will really happen by June 1st. Let's say it does happen. Does it mean that travelers can enter Thailand just like the pre-COVID times? No vaccine test or insurance requirements?
I think they'll definitely have to show that they're vaccinated somehow or the other.
Well, yeah, what they're sort of doing is they're moving that responsibility onto
The TM6 form.
under the TM6 form and the immigration officers. So this is the problem, I think, that it's going to be a huge a time problem for immigration police, who they're meant to push through a check in around about 40 seconds, but it's going to now take longer than that. I don't know.
I've always wanted the TM6 form to just disappear. I hate that blue form. I would rather have just put my details on an app with my vaccination certificate and just not have to do the TM6 form.
That blue and white TM6 form, I can't believe that they've gone to all this trouble to build the sort of the digital infrastructure for a thing called a Thailand Pass. A much simplified version of that for pre-registration of your travel,
Yes.
or something that works on an app when you arrive or just before you depart to Thailand would be so much easier. But no, we've got to have this paper. And what's going to happen to all those forms? They're going to end up in a warehouse filling up space.
Tim for president.
Oh, no.
Tim for president. Natty for prime minister.
Okay, the next
J for boss.
3 comments on traveling. Hans said that 300 baht is a lot of money for backpacking travelers. And Reread said, by the way, the video Natty did covering the details on the requirements for retiring in Thailand, it's an excellent program. Thank you very much. And the Snive said, I will give the Thai government $100 at the airport to just leave me alone. Would you?
Look, I mean, you are coming into Thailand, and if Thailand's going to have its arrival tax or a departure tax or whatever it is, they have had these in the past. So it's not as if it's something new to complain about. And it relates to people coming, Thais flying back into Thailand as well. It's not just foreigners. So it really is, it used to be something that would help build, another story on top of Don Muang Airport or subsidise Suvarnabhumi. But this time they're talking about it. They're going to spend it on tourist infrastructure, whatever that might be. Putting up signs for dual pricing at national parks.
Yeah.
Okay. Next comment. When we were talking about cancel culture, John Peake said, Natty, people are very unhappy with their lives, basic trolls, and that's why cancel culture
agree.
is still there.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't like that the media likes to stir it as well to make it even more gruesome or gross than it actually is, just to see successful people fail. That's what needs to be changed.
Yeah, there was a huge amount of tall poppy syndrome with this young YouTuber. I was a bit offended by it, and I think we made our point clear to the Environment Minister. I don't think he just had a bad day, I think.
When you're doing something right, that's when the devil comes to you. Hashtag Denzel Washington.
Which is what he said after Will Smith.
He's
Right.
actually said that in interviews as well.
Okay.
He's
It's
very
his-
religious, Denzel.
It's his go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, is that my cue now? Okay. Next comment from Deborah D. Jay, gotta say you're looking particularly fresh and polished today.
Appreciate it. Thank you. It's the Thaiger merch.
Oh,
Visit
yeah.
the Thaiger shop for your merch today.
Smooth plug. When we were talking about the Justin Bieber concert, Larry Conley said, screw Justin.
Oh,
And Alain Pafefli said, instead of Bieber, better come to see Uncle Roger. Do you guys know Uncle Roger?
Oh, yes. Natty's got strong feelings about Uncle Roger.
Uncle Roger. He
Have-
is
do you-
coming, though.
Do you know Uncle Roger?
No.
Okay, Natty.
Uncle Roger.
Natty, why don't you start
That's,
talking about
that's
it?
how he does it, actually.
So Uncle Roger is
He's a stand-up comedian. His name is actually Nigel Ng. He's a Malaysian stand-up comic, but he really got famous after he did kind of a mock of this girl cooking Thai food. Was it? No,
Fried rice.
cooking fried rice.
Yeah.
But she wasn't doing it right. She wasn't doing it right. She is Western, and so he was making fun of her using a burly, thick Chinese accent, but he doesn't actually sound like that.
It's his Chinese persona.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
Right.
show you 10 seconds of Uncle Roger.
I have seen him.
Ah, right.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck to him.
So what do you think of that, Uncle Roger?
Well,
That's the question.
I-
Would you rather see Uncle Roger than Jay Beebs?
no. I found Uncle Roger about as interesting as watching paint dry. But good luck to him. He's got his followers, and that's what YouTube's about, isn't it?
All right.
Anybody can be a star.
Yes.
Even Natty and Jay
Yay.
and Uncle Roger.
I
Right.
got one question. The Snives asked, do you guys have a favorite bakery in Phuket for cakes?
Ooh, favorite bakery in Phuket. There's really
I used
one.
to.
There's a really good one in Katu in front of the go-kart. As just before you go up the Patong mountain, it's called Zurich Bakery.
Zurich Swiss Bakery or
Yeah,
something.
Zurich Swiss Bakery. It's really good. Fresh
Opposite the
croissants
go-kart.
every day. I really recommend the croissant. There's a really good one in Chalong as well. That's a lot more affordable as well.
There used to be one, well, I mean, that's the past, in Boat Lagoon, which was Les Diables, but that's not there anymore.
Yeah,
Peter-
Lafayette is good. Lafayette.
Napoleon Bakery, they're in Sissentorn and Cheung Talay.
Napoleon over Lafayette.
Yeah.
What? The French know how to do it right.
There's actually been, over the past 2 years, a lot of change in
Bake.
shops and... no.
Bake?
Nah.
Why? Pricey.
Yeah, overpriced.
All right.
But if they would like to sponsor us, then I'll change my opinion. So, yeah, look, there are actually plenty of good bakeries, more so in places like Phuket than here in Bangkok.
I would not agree.
No,
Although
I
I've
don't
never
know
not
about
gone
that,
to.
Tim.
Well, I haven't found the good bakeries here.
Oh, no.
No,
Mind you,
no.
my life in Bangkok is pretty much between the office
Yeah.
and the 200-metre walk to my condo.
There's-
That's about it.
There's a really good bakery about 50 meters from this office right now.
Which is where?
In Sing Complex. It's called Gontran Cherrier.
Whoa.
Oh, the Sing Complex.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
it's
that's-
really good, though.
That's upmarket, too upmarket for me.
No, it's not. I mean, yes, it's mediumly priced. It's good.
Yum,
Quality.
Yum, 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 yum.
Sometimes you've got to pay a
Awesome.
little for quality.
All right, yeah. Look, there are basically good bakeries around Thailand. You've got to sort of dig them up a bit. Vivian, do they do bakery stuff?
They do have some.
They do
bread.
mostly sort of fresh
Yeah,
produce.
Kind of.
Sorry, is it Vivian or Vivant?
How do French people read that?
Vivan.
I don't even know.
V-I-V-I-N.
Is it
Vivant.
French?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Her husband is French.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Anyway, we can.
Right, any last questions,
Free
Carla?
publicity.
No, that's about it.
All right, that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining in the episode today. Thank you for your questions, members. Thank you to all the live viewers. Please leave a comment in the comment section below, and we might address it on Thaiger Bites or for another episode. Let us know what you think about the topics today or anything you'd like to be answered later on. As for now, I'd like to say thank you, Tim.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Natty Warisa. Thank you to Shai and Nim behind the buttons. Thank you to Carmel,
Yes.
as she
Thank
stares
you.
at me. And thank you to all the viewers. We hope you have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow for our Friday's episode on Good Morning Thailand. See you tomorrow.
Pew pew pew.